Again, my friends, today I'm going to talk about personal protection dogs. If you recall, in our last video we talked about hobby dogs, dogs that could be construed as a personal protection dog but are really a sport competition dog and won't really protect you when it comes down to it. The term personal protection dog is a term that gets thrown around quite a bit, and it's actually pretty funny because it's used to describe a wide array of dogs, many of them who wouldn't do you any more good in a situation than an unloaded gun. Now let's look at it a little more closely. A true personal protection dog possesses a specific set of skills. If a dog does not have these skills, then it's not really a personal protection dog. I have a little chart here. Discriminate but be vigilant. This is the dog's first necessary skill. Your dog needs to be able to be tuned in to your emotions and the situations that you're in, and realize when something's wrong and be able to act based on this sense and the situation rather than a scenario that's just been set up in a competition that's been repeated for the dog over and over and over again many times. The next, social but with steady nerves. This is a dog that you have to be able to take out in public, to have around your friends and neighbors, and the dog has to be stable enough to accept that and realize that everything is okay, but be able to act when it comes down to it. One of the advantages of getting a dog that has been raised in a sport dog environment like Schutzhund, French ring sport, something like that, is that the dog has grown up and been trained in a club environment, a social environment where the dog has learned to discriminate between this and that, and to accept a lot of situations and not go off when it really shouldn't. The next, off-leash obedience, absolute. A personal protection dog's obedience has to be second to none. And really a personal protection dog has to have many of the skills of a police dog, and in some cases be more skilled than a police dog. Some things it doesn't have to know, like a building search and tracking fugitives and so forth. But the obedience has to be just spot on, absolute, as good as it can possibly be. The next thing, strong civil aggression. You need a dog that does not have to see equipment to be motivated. And this all comes from training. If you buy a sport dog, it has to be converted early on before it becomes too out of hand and what we call a sleeve happy dog or a jute monster. The dog has to really be able to go after it when it seems like there's really no reason to. If you say to do it, the dog has to do it. The next thing, a very strong alert and guard. There might be many situations if you have a need for a personal protection dog where the dog has to have a very strong reaction to an alert command and be willing to bark at somebody, guard them, hold them at bay, what have you. No equipment orientation. Your dog has to be trained and be ready to go when the person that's in front of the dog threatening you or appears to be a threat to the dog has no equipment on whatsoever. The dog cannot be cued by the appearance of equipment. Ability to transfer to threat. Many sport dogs, most sport dogs are taught to hang on to a bite while they're threatened with a stick, hit with a stick, be it padded, clatter stick or whatever. This absolutely has to be changed for a personal protection dog. The dog's going to do you no good if the dog tries to protect you, engages a perpetrator, and the guy picks up a brick and he's going to hit the dog in the head, and the dog hangs on the bite and lets him hit him in the head. The dog has to see the threat and transfer to the threat. That's what I mean by that. Undeterred by multiple threats, your dog has to be able to engage multiple people, to hold multiple people back, and realize that there could be danger in more than one person. No provocation necessary. You have to train your dog to go on your command, regardless of whether anything's happening or not. You may see something that the dog doesn't see or sense. You give the dog has to go on the command. Before you pay a lot of money for a dog to protect you and your family, educate yourself. I hope this helps you a little bit. There are a lot of so-called experts and trainers who will gladly take your money. I know of people who sell executive protection dogs for $40,000 and $50,000. It's crazy. If someone demonstrates a dog for you and the person playing the part of the bad guy is using a big visible sleeve and a pair of light-duty pants and hits the dog with some kind of stick, and the dog hangs on and lets him do it, run and get in your car, get out of there, go home and call me. I'll find you a good personal protection dog or help you find somebody who will. Okay, my friends? Thanks for watching. Stay thirsty and keep training. I'll see you next time.